Time now for the Bullpen Show, where we get a chance to warm up for today's Colfax Viking baseball game. Now, let's head out to the bullpen.
Hello and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. Rick Olson here, and today we are set to bring you our final Colfax Viking baseball game of the regular season as the 6-5 Vikings play host to the 1-10 Elmwood Plum City Wolves. The Vikings are hoping to put together some timely hitting and effective pitching to bounce back from Thursday's hard-fought 13-9 loss at the hands of the Elk Mound Mounders. Meanwhile, the Wolves are looking to pick up their second Dunn St. Croix Conference win of the season. Now, the Hilltoppers are also looking to recover from their 12-0 loss to the Mondovi Buffaloes back on May 5th. Coming up in today's edition of the Bullpen Show, we'll take a look at today's matchup between the Vikings and the Wolves. Then we'll get to know one of the Viking players in Viking Profile. Finally, we'll send it out to the ballpark for some exciting high school boys baseball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to the Bullpen Show on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Welcome back to the Bullpen, where we're getting warmed up for today's home game between the Colfax Vikings and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Now, the 6-5 Vikings are coming off a 13-9 loss to the Elk Mound Mounders. But leading the way at the plate in that game was Zach Hedela, who went 2 for 3, including a double, scored twice, and had 2 RBI. Dylan Hedela also went 2 for 3 with a double and scored a run along with 4 RBI. Ashton Greenwell picked up the loss after giving up 9 runs in the first inning and 2/3, although only 4 of those were earned runs. Zach Hedela went the rest of the way for his longest outing of the season. The Wolves carry a 1-10 record and are coming off a 12-0 loss to the Mondovi Buffaloes back on May 5th. The Wolves are being led at the plate by Peyton Kopp, who's hitting at a .394 clip, including 2 doubles and a triple. He's followed by Lucas Glaus and Jack Betchel, who are each hitting at .333. Rounding out the Wolves hitting over 300 is Brett Lifto, who's batting .308. Now on the mound, the Wolves are being led by Kopp, who has a 3.50 ERA with a whip of only 1.08. Lifto also has made significant contributions with an ERA of 9.00 and a whip of 2.57. Now, the Vikings and the Wolves squared off against each other back on April 21st, with the Vikings pitching staff throwing a combined no-hitter, leading to a 16-1 score. Leading the way at the plate in that game was Dylan Hedela, who went 2 for 2 and scored 2 runs and picked up 4 RBI. Also contributing was Mitch Medine, who went 3 for 4 at the plate and scored 4 runs, as well as Cade Anderson, who went 2 for 3, scored a run, and picked up 2 RBI. So far on the season, the Vikings are led at the plate by Dylan Hedela, who is swinging for a .448 average, including 4 doubles, 8 runs scored, and 15 RBI. He's followed by Mitch Medine, who's batting .417 with 3 doubles, 16 runs scored, and 7 RBI. Zach Hedela rounds out the Vikings hitting over 400 with a .414 average, including 4 doubles, 11 runs, and 6 RBI. Mason Yarrington and Cade Anderson are both hitting over 300, with Yarrington at .389 and Anderson at .323. On the mound, the Vikings are being led by Medine, who's compiled a 4-2 record while pitching 33 2/3 innings, giving up 26 hits and allowing 27 runs, but only 14 of those were earned, walking 26 while striking out 56 for an earned run average of 291. He's followed by Zach Hedela, who has a record of 2 wins and no losses and a save. He's pitched 15 2/3 innings, giving up 15 hits and allowing 7 runs, 5 of which were earned, walked 5 and struck out 17 for an ERA of 2.22. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get to know one of this season's Viking players on Viking Profile. You're warming up in Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we get to know one of this season's Colfax Viking players. And now Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're talking with Zach Hedela. And Zach, you're a junior?
No, I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore. Oh my goodness. Here at Colfax High School, and we know you play baseball, but are you involved in any other activities?
Yeah, I play football.
Okay.
That's about it.
So when did you start playing baseball, and what kind of an experience has that been?
I've been playing baseball my whole life. Really kind of stuck with me through elementary school, and glad I can play it here at a high school level. Something I've kind of learned is you kind of got to be patient and wait for your opportunity to come to you. As a freshman, I had a few opportunities, didn't really fulfill them. So now I'm kind of back using that as motivation to do better this season.
Outstanding. So what's the most, well, I guess that would be the most important thing that you've learned is patience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And baseball is a game that will try that, won't it?
Oh, yeah.
So when you're not playing baseball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
Well, friends and family, typically. I like to be outside, not really into fishing or hunting at all. So really just being out with friends, family, and spending time with loved ones.
All right, now here's the one that you know is coming. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
I'm going to have to go ice cream.
Okay, do you know which kind?
Oh, yeah, Moose Tracks all the way.
Okay, all right. Favorite Major League team?
I'm going to have to go to the Twins.
Okay, now you were telling me a little bit earlier that you're hoping to get up and see a Twins game sometime this year. Is there a player, it could be Major League player or a player at any level, who's kind of inspired the way you play your game?
I'm going to have to go Trevor Bauer. He's kind of just independent, and he's not afraid to show who he is.
Okay, very good. So if you had a superpower, what do you think that superpower would be?
I think I'd have to go invisibility.
Okay, all right. Don't need to be seen to be good, right?
No.
All right. We're really helping stealing bases.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you had the power of invisibility, you have to have a superhero name to go with that. So what do you think your superhero name would be?
I think I'd have to go Zach Attack.
Zach Attack. All right. We're talking with Zach Hedela on Viking Profile. And Zach, what are your plans for after high school?
I'd like to go to probably a 4-year college. Of course, try to continue playing sports for as long as I can. You don't always have those opportunities growing up, so.
Right. Okay. So when people come to Viking games, what number do you wear and what position do you play?
I'll be wearing the number 7. You'll see me at third base, on the mound, and behind the plate.
Okay. And how about a shout out to the family?
I'd like to thank my mom and my dad for pushing me, and of course my older brother Dylan. Love you all.
Of course, you got to thank Dylan. I mean, you can't do it without that. We want to thank Zach Hedela for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next is more of the Bullpen Show.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcast Network.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help when your computer decides to not cooperate. It can be very frustrating. Let Slayton's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Slayton's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Slayton's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Slayton's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Web.
Welcome back to the Bullpen Show. Today the Vikings will take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. The Vikings are trying to bounce back following their tough 13-9 loss to the Elkmound Mounders, while the Wolves are trying to bounce back as well from their 12-0 loss to the Mondovi Buffaloes. In addition, the Wolves would like to get a little payback against the Vikings for the 16-1 Viking win back on April 21st. That would also give the Wolves their second Dun St. Croix Conference win of the season. So, the stage is set for some exciting high school baseball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, it should be noted that today is our final regular season Viking baseball game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV for the 2023 season. It's been a real pleasure to bring you these games, even if the weather didn't always cooperate. And we look forward to bringing you more Viking baseball in 2024. Now, should the Vikings end up hosting a first-round game in the WIAA Regionals, we do plan to carry that game. We'll just have to wait for the seeding meeting to find out if that happens. Now, in just a moment, I'll join our broadcast crew at Colfax High School as we will bring you all the action of today's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to the Bullpen Show on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
You've been tuned to the Bullpen Show, where we've had an opportunity to get warmed up for today's Colfax Viking baseball game. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking baseball.
Let Menominee Eye and Optical help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide both comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's cataract and LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eye care for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, located at 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality, personalized care for you and your family.
Colfax Vikings baseball is on the air. The Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, along with Colfax High School proudly present today's Colfax Vikings baseball game. Now, it's out to the ballpark and today's Colfax Viking baseball game.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And good afternoon, and welcome to Colfax High School. Rick Olson here, along with Joe Doucette and Monroe on the computer. And we're hoping that Dan Petchow gets here in time to jump up on the camera. Otherwise, we'll have the camera shot you're looking at, and we'll live with that. We're just about ready for the Vikings to take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves in the final home game of the season, of the regular season for the Vikings. And Joe, why don't you let us know who's going to play in this game?
You bet, Rick. For Coach Brathall and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, leading off, playing center, batting fifth and catching, Jack Beachel. Batting sixth in left field, Derek Lifto. Batting seventh in right field, Dylan Zeilinger. Batting eighth at first base, Jacob Steele. And batting ninth at second base, Ariel Perez.
And do you have the Vikings there, Joe?
I do. Batting second, shortstop, Mason Yarrington. Batting third, and
You know, Joe, after we've watched these Colfax Vikings grow as a team through the season, since this is the last home game of the regular season, the game they played against Elk Mound at Elk Mound last week really showed in the season. That was a heck of a game on Thursday, and they made a game out of it. Tried to put together a rally. They came up short, but they tried to put together a rally. I have a sneaking suspicion this could be a really dangerous team come playoff time.
Yeah, here's where you want to be playing your best, and you know, we had nothing but great things to say about Elk Mound, and for us to give them a great battle, you know, and I think that's going to set up good things, not only in the last 3 games, but hopefully in that tournament run.
And we should find out a little bit later on this week if the Vikings are going to end up hosting a playoff game, which would be the 25th of May, would be that home play. We hope to be here for that if that's the case.
Yeah, that'd be great. And we were talking about that sectional, and ours is loaded with good teams. You know, you got Elk Mound, Mondovi, Durand, and Boyceville, and you know, out of our conference, you got Marathon and Neilsville and Stratford, and a lot of good records, a lot of good teams. So it's always a big challenge, but you've seen how we've grown and our resilience. And
we'll see if the Vikings can be spread out.
Yeah.
If the games can be spread out enough, the Vikings are going to be fine.
Yeah, you bet.
And tonight we have Mitch Medine to start on the mound. He's getting his warm-up pitches right now.
Yeah, Mitch has had a great year, Rick. We've talked about that a lot, and kind of the, you know, that senior presence, and him and Dylan.
Because they look for Mitch to throw about 5 innings, and then coming in relief will be Dylan's baby brother, Zach.
Yeah.
Zach would not like me calling him that, I don't think. I'm sure Dylan knows how to.
And, you know, see if he can do that today.
He's got some pitches that dance all over the place.
Yeah, he does.
Taking a look at the Vikings defensively is at second base. Ashton Greenwell over at first. Out in the outfield, it's Medine begins his motion, and we're underway. Pitches low and away for ball 1.
You got it, Mitch.
And it's 2 balls. And a strike called.
Oh, they always rotate. Come on.
And the throw over to first is in time. So 1 away. That's going to bring up Lucas Glaus. And the first pitch is a strike called. And it's a ball.
What else is going on?
And the pitch is outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike to Lucas Glaus. And a fly ball, right field, foul. Out of play. Counts even at 2-2.
I know the Glaus family, and you know,
I've been calling those names in basketball and football for quite a while. Ground ball to Zach Hedela, throw over to first, and Greenwell scoops it out.
Keep it up, Red.
It's going to bring up Brett Lifto with 2 down. Third baseman batting .308.
Huh? Wolves. Is it?
And a swing and a miss for strike one.
There's that breaking ball that we like so much out of Mitch Medine.
It looks so sweet and tempting, and then all of a sudden just dives out of the strike zone.
Yeah, late break to that.
There's the pitch. It's low and away for a ball.
He pounds the strike zone and stays away from the middle. He's very good.
Here's the wind and the pitch. Strike called right down the middle. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brett Lifto. Here's the pitch. Chopper over to second. Beekner takes it on the hop.
Kyle's Market in Colfax, locally owned since 2007 and is a proud supporter of Colfax High School scholarship and athletics. Kyle's meat department is second to none and they're known for their homemade smoked meats. Don't forget the fresh veggies, cheese, and frozen foods. Kyle's Market has got it all. Kyle's Market is your hometown market where customer service is supersized. They'll even carry your groceries out to your car. That's Kyle's Market in Colfax.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, heading into the bottom of the first inning. Elmwood Plum City Wolves didn't get anything in the top half of the inning, and on the mound is Peyton Kopp for the Wolves with a 3.50 earned run average. And he's got a lot to put behind the ball, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a big, strong kid.
Kind of opposites in the pitchers in today's game.
Yeah. I watch him warm up. I like some of the things he throws, so we'll see how we can start here.
Oh, she wanted to come and ask me about.
He's got a curveball. That was what he just threw right. The Vikings topped the Wolves 16-1 over in, I'm not sure if that game was in Elmwood or in Plum City. But, anyway, over at their place.
Yeah.
And in spite of the fact that the Wolves did get the Viking pitchers combined for a no-hitter.
I said, just so, if I do know. And she said, well, it'll be mine anyway. She said, I'll pull mine over here. But, and I said, that's fine.
And he's just about done.
I don't think, no, he lives in Cornell, she said. I guess so. Go, Mitch. Saturday morning.
So leading off for the Vikings, Mitch Medine batting .417, takes the first pitch for a ball.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I can see what I get, but so this is graduation is this Friday, and then we've got quite a few parties.
The pitch is away for a ball.
And then, yeah. Then
2 balls and no strikes.
is the only one that there isn't any, and then we got like, oh my gosh, like 6 to 8, 10.
Here's the wind and the pitch. Strike right down the middle.
That might have been taken there, 2-0.
Make sure he can, you're the leadoff hitter of the game.
Yeah.
Make sure he can throw a strike. Kopp winds and fires. Line shot straight out into center field by Medine. He rounds first and he's going to stay there. Good solid base hit by Mitch Medine.
He's having a great year. He's fun to watch.
Now batting is Mason Yarrington, and Mason's coming in with a 389 batting average.
And Coach Sika will have Mitch running very early here.
See if Yarrington shows bunt. Throw over to first. Nope. Bluff over to first. Peyton stepped off the rubber before he did, so
yeah.
It's not a balk.
Definitely step back.
Now he takes another look over at first. And the delivery is a little bit low. Throw down to second, and Medine in safely. Actually, a pretty good throw.
That wasn't too bad.
One ball, no strikes now to Mason Yarrington.
Try to get the outside of the house washed and stuff like that.
Medine takes his lead. And the pitch. Swing and a miss for a strike.
A little bit late on that.
Yeah.
And the pitch. Inside for a ball. Throw it on to third. And Medine in safely. Couple stolen bases already for Mitch Medine.
Yeah, he got a great jump on that second one.
You know, one of the things I just noticed about the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, this entire team wears the high socks and knicker style.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch. Fly ball out into left center field. That's going to fall in. It's going to find the wall. Medine comes in to score. Yarrington heading to second, and he checks in there.
Good piece of hitting there. Was a little bit late on that first fastball, but he really turned on that.
So the Vikings go on top, 1-0. 2 up, 2 on. Brings up Dylan Hedela. Here's the pitch. It's high for a ball.
You know, Rick, we've talked about Mason Yarrington. He just, you know, another one of them kids, does everything pretty well and contributes in a lot of different ways.
He's a hard-working kid, whether it's on the hardwoods or out here on the ball diamond.
Yeah.
And he takes off for third. Throw down to third.
And he's the same way, just wonderful kid, wonderful family.
2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah. Right.
Here comes the pitch. Line shot foul down the right field line.
Yeah, I've got a girl I graduated with that I was dating that lives in Colorado Springs too. I don't know where it is in like compared to Denver.
And the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Counts even at 2-2. Hedela was right at eye level like that.
Yeah, tough to hit though.
And here's the pitch. Pop up in the infield, dropping back and making the catch is Glaus for the first out of the inning. Brings up Ashton Greenwell.
You know, very important they get that second run in, you know, on third and less than 2 outs. And Dylan couldn't come through. Let's see what Ashton can do.
It's always good to get that crooked number up there. And the first pitch is on the outside edge for a strike.
Well, I mean, we completely understand.
Peyton Kopp on the mound. It's in the stretch and the pitch. Line shot over to second or to shortstop. Glaus picks it up, throws over to first, got the out, but he also drove in the run.
Yeah, I think anytime you're a big favorite, you know, going in on paper, you don't want to do anything to give the other team.
And a high pop-up over towards second. Scooting over is Perez, and he makes the put out to Cade Anderson. So for the Vikings, they got 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base. We've completed an inning, and it's the Vikings 2 and the Wolves nothing. You're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Known for its well-manicured grounds and greens, Whitetail Golf Course is an 18-hole golf course carved into the countryside of northwest Wisconsin. They can host your next golf outing, wedding and reception, reunion, birthday, anniversary or other social event. On Friday nights, come out to Whitetail for their famous Friday night fish, shrimp and chicken dinner served from 5 to 9 every Friday evening through October. Conveniently located between Colfax and Elk Mound.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How is it? Is it good?
Back here at Colfax High School. We're working a little short-handed today, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. Rick Olson along with Joe Doucette. Ann Monroe on the computer. And our cameras are pointed where we want them, and hopefully everything works out fine. First pitch is outside for a ball. It's Peyton Kopp on, who is the pitcher for the Wolves. Pitch is a little bit low. Kopp comes into the game batting .394. Three balls, no strikes now to Peyton Kopp. He's got a couple of doubles. He's got a triple. Strike called.
He's a big, strong kid, yeah.
You just got to have the feeling that if you got a hold of one, they better watch out on the track. Ground ball through the hole and into right field. And Kopp's going to check in at first.
Didn't hit it hard, and it's way better than a walk, I think, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Can't catch walks. Beekner had a good jump, and
Sean Sagini is going to be the courtesy runner for Peyton Kopp. Boy, and that sounds like a good Italian name, Sagini. And it's a called strike to Jack Beachel.
Medina's so much more effective when he gets ahead, Rick, and just makes a big difference for him.
And the pitch, line shot towards second, and he makes the tag. Beekner made the tag on Sagini.
Wow, that's a great play.
So that out goes 4 unassisted, and Beachel gets on a fielder's choice.
He's been solid all year. He just makes all the plays.
Derek Lifto at the plate. Swing and a miss for strike one to the tall left-hander. Lifto batting .296, playing left field. And the pitch. That's high. Throw down to first. Beachel gets in safely. Greenwell kind of lost track of the ball there, but Beachel wasn't going anywhere. Pitch is a little bit low.
If I sit up, I got that bar right across the...
Hedela keeps an eye on things over there. Make sure they don't get too far off. And a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 on. Beachel takes his lead. Oh, and that didn't miss by much. Count goes full.
Holy smokes.
It's just not non-stop. It's not that much more, but it's not non-stop.
And the pitch. Strike 3 called.
A great pitch.
Derek Lifto goes down looking for the second out.
A lot of pitchers get frustrated there thinking that they threw strike 3 the pitch before, and pitch come back and threw another strike.
Dylan Zeilinger is at the plate, batting 125. First pitch was a ball.
For Christmas. Yeah, that I took down to the beach.
Swing and a miss. Counts even at 1-1. Here's the wind and the pitch. And that's a strike called. Belt high on the outside edge. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So for the Wolves, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We've completed an inning and a half, and the Vikings hold a 2-0 lead. You're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The teen years are a great time for your child to gain practical experience in managing finances. Perhaps he or she already has a summer job lined up. A free checking account at Derry State Bank can help teens learn to set a budget, track spending, use a debit card, make deposits, and more. Plus, parents are account co-owners and have the ability to supervise the learning process. Give us a call today. Derry State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Vikings have a 2-0 lead as we head into the bottom of the second inning. Due up for the Vikings, Brian Tuchel, Drew Buechner, and Elijah Ensminger.
Let's see if that bottom of the order can get them going, Rick.
So Tuchel stepping to the plate, batting .229. Cop into the wind and the pitch. Little bit low. Little bit short. And those cricket players that we watch would have liked that one. There's the pitch. All right, now I'm starting to look for the wickets. There's the wind and the pitch. Inside for a ball. Count goes 3-0. Yeah, they've come up with a relatively newer version of cricket, Joe, that you might find interesting. They call it the 20s, and it shortens the game. You know, a legitimate cricket game can last days.
A long time,
yeah. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Strike called. 3-1. The 20s takes about the same amount of time as a baseball game or football game. It's something a person could sit through and watch.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch, and it's a strike 2. Count goes full. To Brian Tuchel. Here's the payoff pitch. Ground ball towards third. Nice scoop there by Lifto. Throw over to first, and it's in time.
Nice play. Nice play.
That's going to bring up Drew Buechner.
I like that at bat by Brian Tuchel, though. You know, he's very patient. Put the ball in play, hit it hard.
Took a good play by Lifto to make the
nice play. Nice play.
To make the put out. Pitch is at the letters for a strike. Buechner batting .250.
Come on, Drew.
Cop into the wind and the pitch. It was high, but he put it in play. Scooped up by Lifto. Throw over to first, and The throw was a little bit short. I think we're going to give an error to the third baseman on that.
Where's the shiesty?
Yeah, pretty nice pickup, just threw it a little low.
Yeah, if he had set his feet, I think he had time to set his feet and make a good throw.
Yeah, Beekner will be running here shortly.
Elijah Ensminger, just under 100 for his batting average. Throw over to first. Back in time is Beekner.
Hello.
I mean, he's a great pitcher.
Ensminger has a good eye. He does draw some walks.
Yeah. Runs like a deer.
Yes, he does. That was right where I was going with that.
But you got to get on to do that.
And the throw over to first. That's just a keep him honest throw.
Yeah. I think he just, if Elijah would have a little bit of wrist deviation, but that most good hitters do it. He just looks so not as comfortable as he could.
That's what Mom thought.
Steps back in. Kopp takes a peek over at first. And the pitch. And down to second, and safe at second as the ball gets away. Is Drew Beekner with a stolen base. Now if Ensminger can put it on the ground in the outfield, you could have another run for the Vikings. Beekner out there in scoring position.
And they threw the ball home. Yeah, he was batting and somebody was stealing
Kopp
home.
steps over towards second, and Beekner gets back. And one thing I see is Kopp does not like having runners on base.
Yeah.
Ensminger squares to bunt, fouls it back into the screen. That's also something Ensminger tends to do a pretty good job of.
Yeah.
And that's laying. Kopp takes a look over at second. And the pitch. It's low for a ball. Beekner on the pitch is getting about anywhere from a third to a halfway to third base. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's high for ball 2.
Yeah, all year long, Beekner's been super aggressive, and he looks very confident on the bases.
Cover. And the throw is low. Beekner looks like he's going to throw, but a nice scoop by Beachel behind the plate, and he was ready to make the fire down to third.
Yeah, that was a good read by Drew. That'd be great to get like Elijah and get a couple other guys hot on the bottom of the order.
Full count. And the pitch is low for ball 4, so Ensminger draws the walk. I would bet this might very well be the most dangerous number 9 hitter in the conference. Elijah Ensminger batting, or it's Elijah Ensminger. No, it's not. I know better than that. Zach Hedela batting .414. But it's part of that philosophy that and pitch is low. Beekner heads down to third. Now we have runners on the corners.
And I would say Elijah's going to run on this pitch.
I would almost bet on that.
Yeah.
See what kind of a play the Wolves have set up for the runners on the corners play. Here's the pitch. Fly ball out into right field, and the catch is made by Zeilinger, and
they doubled him up.
They did double him up. Did the run score? Yes. He just pointed to the plate that the run did score, so it's a sacrifice fly. And Beekner scores. And Ensminger was doubled off. So, for the Vikings, they do pick up a run on no hits. There was 1 error and nobody left on base. We've completed 2 innings, and it's the Vikings 3 and the Wolves nothing. You're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When circumstances leave you with this, contact Morgan's Auto Body of Colfax. Morgan's Auto Body of Colfax provides state-of-the-art rust repair, paint repair, glass repair, dent removal, or straightening. In short, Morgan's Auto Body can do it all. Whether you've been in a minor fender bender or a major collision, Morgan's will restore your car to its original condition and get you safely back on the road. That's Morgan's Auto Body of Colfax, 409 Cedar Street in Colfax, or call at 715-962-3557.
What's that?
And
guys, it's me, Isabella
we have
Gomez,
a
filling in
scoring
for Smoke
correction
there,
for
because
you.
He's got more to say
And Joe, why don't you fill us in on that?
That's considered a force play, Rick. So when they got the out on the catch and they got Elijah at first, the run does not count.
So the score remains 2-0 Vikings, and unfortunately Zach Hedela does not get credit for a sacrifice fly either, although that's pretty much what he did.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a base running mistake by Elijah.
Well, I don't know about that either because he was stealing. I don't think he's seen the ball. He didn't get up quick enough.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate.
So we go to the top of the third, and the first pitch is low and away to Jacob Steele. Steele comes into the game batting 143. The next pitch is low for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Medine winds and fires. It's outside for ball 3.
You don't want to walk the 8 guy. You got to throw strikes here.
Here's the get me over pitch. And there it is. Called strike right at the belt. That one would have painted the stripe on Main Street.
Yeah.
And the 3-1 pitch. And a strike called. Little delay call that time. I think he had to think about it.
Yeah.
Count goes full. And the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's right there what you're talking about, Joe. And he went 3-0 and came back and got him swinging. It's going to bring up Ariel Perez, batting 185, the second baseman. And the pitch is a strike. And the pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2. Compare Perez with Peyton Kopp, and you get the range of players that play high school baseball.
Yeah.
Here's the wind and the 0-2 pitch, foul back into the screen. Count remains at 0-2. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Foul territory. Dylan Hedela moving over and makes the catch.
Back to the dugout.
So, 2 down. And we go to the top of the order. Blake Allen steps up to the plate. He grounded back to the pitcher his first time up. Medine fielded it and threw it over to first. And the pitch. Fly ball. Foul territory down the right field line.
Yeah, Dylan's a good athlete. He really moves well for a guy his size. We've talked about that play all year. It's a lot harder than it looks, and he made that one look pretty easy.
Give you an idea how good an athlete he is.
Yeah.
We cover the Eau Claire Cowboys football team, and they were interested in trying to get Dylan to sign.
Yeah.
And a strike called on the inside corner.
He's strong as a bull. And,
he's strong and
deceivingly fast, though, and quick for his size.
Hard-nosed football player, too.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch. Inside for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one's in the dirt for a ball.
Maybe tried to throw that a little harder.
And the pitch. Ground ball over to second. Beekner scoops it, throws over to first for the out. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Wolves. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We've played 2.5, and it's the Vikings 2 and the Wolves nothing. You're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Plumbing problems got you down? Let the skilled folks at H&H Plumbing in Colfax make sure everything is flowing just as it should. Or maybe you're thinking about adding a gas line for a new stove, fireplace, or hot tub. H&H Plumbing can help with that as well. H&H Plumbing in Colfax, established in 2000, has earned a 5-star rating on Angie.com. So, whatever your plumbing needs, call H&H Plumbing in Colfax at 715-962-4155.
Top of the order to start things off in the third inning for the Vikings, Mitch Medine, who singled and scored after stealing a couple of bases.
You know, another thing I've noticed, Rick, about, Elmwood, Plum City is, though, their record has struggled in a tough done St. Croix, but they had a great infield, outfield. They hustle in and out. You can tell that Coach Brathel has got their attention and their discipline, and, for a 1-10 team, they do a lot of things pretty well.
Sometimes you can put together a pretty decent fielding team and you just can't hit the curveball. You know what I mean? There's the wind in the pitch. Pop up. Foul territory. Moving over and making the catch. That's a good example of what you're talking about. Is Lifto, and that was Derek Lifto.
I'm just talking about the big picture of, hustling and doing things in the right way. Good baseball players hustle in and out. They're fired up. They're ready to go, and that's what Elmwood Plum City's doing.
And the fact that they hustle on and off the field, and the first pitch is inside to Mason Yarrington, is what makes them make that play that just happened. He hustled over there, and so it's that whole attitude of hustling.
Yeah. I've played for some good coaches that if you didn't hustle, you wouldn't play. And
it was for that reason.
Yeah.
If you can't hustle on and off the field, you're not going to hustle to make a good play.
Yeah, for sure.
And the pitch, ground ball over to short, scooped up there by Glaus, throw over to first, and it's in time.
He's another kid. I watched him take infield, and he made all the plays. That was a nice play.
So, 2 down. Brings up the catcher, Dylan Hedela. He popped to the shortstop. Boy, the wind is playing havoc with that door.
Yeah.
There's the pitch, and a strike called.
Cop started him up with the curveball. That's a good idea.
Wind in the pitch. Hedela chases it, foul.
Dylan's swing looks a little bit longer today. You got to get it short and quick. Looks like it's got a little loop in there.
Cop into the wind. 0-2 pitch. Foul down the first base line, but caught by Perez. And actually, he was in fair territory. So, for the Vikings, 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We've played 3, and it's the Vikings 2 and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves nothing. You're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Triple Threat Training was founded by the 3 Vavra brothers from Menominee, Wisconsin. All 3 brothers played Division I baseball, and all 3 have played baseball at the professional level. Triple Threat Training is located just south of Menominee in Downsville. Featuring 3 batting cages, 1 full-length pitching mound, and an all-turf surface, Triple Threat can meet your baseball training needs. If you or someone you know is looking to expand your baseball skills, give Triple Threat Training a call at 715-664-8669. That's Triple Threat Training in Downsville, Wisconsin.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Heading into the top of the fourth. Vikings on top, 2-0. Had to wait a little for Dylan Hedela to get all the gear on after popping out to the first baseman. Due up for the Wolves, Lucas Klaus, Brett Lifto, and Peyton Kopp. So Glaus steps in, grounded to third his first time up. Pitch is low and away for a ball.
Wasn't that guy supposed to get the ball? Like a respectful little athlete? Show some respect.
And
Shape up.
we're now waiting, and here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Counts even at 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch swung on and missed, strike two.
There's that breaking ball again. So much better when he gets ahead, you know, and he can use that anytime, any count.
Klaus was way out in front of that.
Yeah.
Line shot. Picked up by Greenwell. Takes it over to the bag for the put out. Ashton Greenwell unassisted for the first out. Brings up Brett Lifto. Lifto grounded to Beekner at second his first time up.
I'd love to see strike one here.
Well, here's the pitch, and you got what you were looking for. Swing and a miss. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed, strike two. And I'll be honest with you, Joe, it looks like he's got Lifto really confused up there.
Yeah. I got to stay away from the middle here.
Medine winds and fires. Swing and a miss for strike three. That's the fourth strikeout of the game for Mitch Medine. Brings up Peyton Kopp. Kopp singled to right field his last time up. In fact, he's got the only hit against the Vikings all season by the Wolves.
Yeah.
Pitch is low and away for a ball. Time was called, waiting for the ball retriever to get out of the way. And a pop-up foul territory out of play.
I think Kopp's their best hitter, and Mitchell's got to stay away from the barrel here. You know how big and strong he is.
Yeah, he can put something behind it, it looks like.
Yeah.
He's got that home run hitter build.
Yeah.
That one's low for a ball.
All year long, though, Mitch, you know, there hasn't been a lot of real hard hit balls against him. You know, a lot of soft contact. And
2 balls, 1 strike. Strike called on the outside edge.
That's a great pitch.
Counts even at 2-2 with 2 down. Medine winds and fires. Chopper, foul territory. And I was actually glad to see Zach Hedela do exactly what he did.
Yeah.
He just took his glove and swatted it to make sure it stayed foul.
Yeah, touch it when it was foul.
Count holds at 2-2. 2 down. And the pitch. Check swing. And he missed it outside, and he said he held up. So the count goes full. Payoff pitch to Kopp. Pop up, Greenwell over in foul territory, and it's out of play. Count holds at 3-2. Here's the wind and the payoff pitch. Ground ball right back up the middle. Picked up by Arrington. Throw over to first. And they got it in time. 6-3 on the putout. Another 3-up, 3-down inning for the Wolves. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We've played 3.5. Heading to the bottom of the fourth. And it's the Vikings 2 and the Wolves nothing. You're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Sunday, May 21st, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Tilden Tigers in a doubleheader from Carson Park. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:05 p.m. That's live Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on Sunday, May 21st on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
As we were looking around here, we were commenting about the people seated out in the outfield on lawn chairs and kicking back and enjoying the sunshine on this beautiful day. We haven't had many like this, Joe, but we've got one today. Yeah. And some people are watching both the softball game and today's baseball game.
And the track meet, triple header.
Yeah.
Triple header.
And big track meet tomorrow.
Yeah, conference meet at Durand. And talking about softball, that John Dickinson and the Vikings are having a great year, and they're a 2 seed. In my time in Colfax, that might be the best seed in the history of the Colfax softball program. And they got some kids and hit the ball, and good luck to them.
Well, you got to remember, some of those athletes are the same ones that took the girls' basketball team down to the state tournament. And they're just plain good athletes.
Yeah.
Due up for the Vikings in the bottom of the fourth inning are Ashton Greenwell, Kate Anderson, and Brian Tuchel. Greenwell coming to the plate. He had an RBI ground out to the shortstop his first time up.
Yeah, good at bat. You know, we needed him to drive in a run, and he was able to do that.
Drove Yarrington in.
Yeah.
Kopp winds and delivers a fly ball out into left field. Getting over there is Lifto, but it falls in, and it rolls over towards the corner. Greenwell chugging towards second, and he's going to be there with a stand-up double. Kate Anderson comes to the plate. He popped to the second baseman to end the first inning. Kopp looking over towards second, and now delivers. It's high and away for a ball.
Yeah, good at bat for Kate would be to get Ashton to third here. You know, we'd love to see one in the gap or a base hit, but at the very least, get him over to third. You know, look for something you can pull.
Here's the pitch, high and away for a ball. I do think, though, when Kopp has his attention divided between a runner on base and the batter, his pitching is not nearly as effective.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Takes a look over at second. Now delivers. Pop up. Out into left field. Moving over to make the catch is Glaus coming over from shortstop.
I like him. He makes all the plays. That was a good play, Rick.
And that brings up Brian Tuchel. Tuchel grounded to third his first time up. Greenwell unable to advance on that pop out. There's the pitch. Strike call. In fact, I have a feeling that had that ball even fallen in for a base hit, Greenwell wasn't going to be able to advance just from where it was.
Yeah. He was in a tough spot there.
Here's the pitch. Chopped foul down the third base line. Nice fielding job there by Kirk C. Craw.
Yeah.
My guess is he could still do it if he had to.
Oh, yeah.
Kopp peeks at second and delivers. Curveball fouled.
I'm not going to answer you because you're going to do what you want anyway.
Right over the top of our broadcast trailer. Brian Tuchel, 0-2. And the pitch. Chopper out in front. Kopp fields it, throws over to first. Greenwell is able to get over to third. With two down, brings up Drew Buechner. Buechner grounded to third his first time up, but it was an error by the third baseman on his throw over to first, so Buechner got on base.
Stole a couple bases.
First pitch is outside for a strike.
She won't even know it.
Yeah, I heard that story.
And the pitch. High pop foul out of play.
You don't need a big 2-0 hit.
Another run or two would be a good thing.
Yeah.
There's the pitch. High and away.
We talked about that earlier, too. The longer they hang in there, the more confidence they get.
No balls, 2 strikes. This is where the hitter has to be tough. Foul anything close out of play.
Yeah.
And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So the Vikings get no runs after that leadoff double by Greenwell on that one hit. No errors, 1 left. So we've played 4, and the Vikings are on top, 2-0. You're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Simplify your life. Pleasant Valley Properties provides affordable housing and homes in communities in Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska. They have staff available to help you locate the home that best meets your needs and desires, as well as service staff that maintains the properties. Contact Pleasant Valley Properties at 715-226-6200. Call today and let them help you get into the home of your dreams. That's Pleasant Valley Properties, 301 Bremer Avenue in Colfax.
Back here at Colfax High School, we head to the 5th inning. Vikings on top, 2-0 against the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. And that always makes the umpires happy to know that the concession stand is about ready to hand them a nice cold water. Nice folks running the concession stand here. They generally bring us hot dogs over, and I'm surprised Dan's not here since they have hot dogs here. They have good hot dogs. Dan being the hot dog connoisseur that he is. All right, leading off, Jack Beachel, and he fouls the first pitch away. He grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. It moved Sagini, who was the courtesy runner for Kopp, over to second. Well, it didn't move him over there. He was put out at second.
Yeah. That was Buechner's nice play.
Yeah, he fielded the chopper and kind of had to dive and made the tag rather than toss it.
Yeah.
Pitch is outside for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Medine winds and fires. That one's high. All the way back to the backstop.
Mitch hasn't walked anybody, but he's had 2 or 3 ball counts. See if he can come back here.
And we are getting towards the top end of his effective innings. There's a swing and a miss for a strike. Count goes full. Usually he throws about 5 innings, and we're in the top of the 5th. There's the pitch, and that missed. So Beachel draws the walk. First one given up by Medine. Brings up Derek Lifto. And he went down looking his first time up. First pitch was called strike. Lifto fouls, tips it into Hedela's glove. Strike 2. And the pitch. Strike 3 called. Second time that Derek Lifto has gone down looking. Brings up Dylan Zeilinger, who struck out his first time up. 1 down, 1 on. And the pitch is low for a ball.
Yeah, a little low. Mitch is so much better when he gets ahead, Rick.
Beachel takes a lead. And a pop-up, foul territory, out of play. And off the bleachers it went. I worry about that today, Ann, with Dan not out there to protect our cameras. And the pitch, that's low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. And keeping me on the straight and narrow here. Beachel takes his lead at first. And the pitch. Chopper foul. Right back to Hedela. And the count is 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Oh, that didn't miss by much.
No.
Just a hair high, I believe. Just above the letters. Count is full. And the pitch. Strike 3 called. Throw it down to first. And Beachel's back in time. But Zeilinger goes down looking. Strikeout number 6 for Medine. Yeah. And I think that's going to be it for Mitch Medine on the mound.
Yeah.
He's going to get credit for 4 2/3.
Yeah, they must be counting pitches and trying to stay below a certain number.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
And so while Zach Hedela gets warmed up, we'll take this time out. You're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Sunday, May 21st, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Tilden Tigers in a doubleheader from Carson Park. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:05 p.m. That's live Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on Sunday, May 21st on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
And so the new rump on the bump for the Vikings is Zach Hedela. Mitch Medine went forward 2/3 innings, gave up no runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, and struck out 6. Good outing for Mitch Medine.
Yeah, he's their ace. There's no doubt about it.
A swing and a miss by Jacob Steele, who struck out his first time up. Hedela at the belt and delivers a little bit low. 1-1 is the count. With 2 down. And the pitch. Fly ball foul on the right side. Out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jacob Steele. Beachel still on first. He had the leadoff walk, but has not been able to move on from it. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So for the Wolves, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We've completed 4.5, and it's the Vikings 2 and the Wolves nothing. You're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If your car has lost that showroom appeal, give Kyle's Buff and Shine a call. Kyle makes it easy to bring that shine back. Not to mention, he comes to you. Kyle does exteriors, interiors, and even has an ultimate detailing package. When Kyle is done, your car will look nearly showroom new. Oh, by the way, Kyle also details anything that flies, drives, or floats. Call 715-556-2062 to book your next detail with Kyle's Buff and Shine.
It is funny.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Joe Doucette and Monroe on the computer. Vikings on top, 2-0, and as Joe commented as we were away for break there, Vikings haven't scored in a while.
No.
Picked up a couple runs in the first inning, and after that, Peyton Kopp's done a pretty good job of shutting them down.
Yeah, he really has. He's thrown strikes, and we really like the way their shortstop plays, and
left fielder covers an awful lot of ground.
yeah.
So due up for the Vikings, Elijah Ensminger, Zach Hedela, and then back to the top of the order, Mitch Medine. Elijah Ensminger drew a walk his first time up, and Joe, don't be surprised to see him try to bunt for a single here. He's shown that a few times this year. Here's the pitch. It's outside for a ball.
I loved watching him run. He just got to get on a little bit more.
Here's the wind. And the pitch. Way high. Curveball that kind of got away from him a little bit that time. Kopp with the wind and the pitch. And that got him. Ensminger got hit by the pitch. So he heads down to first base.
Yep, I think he'll want Zach Hedela to take a pitch here and, let Elijah steal.
Yeah, because that's what cost the Vikings from getting an extra run there in the second inning.
Yeah, I think Coach Secra told Zach that too on the way in.
Bluff throw over to first. Nothing happening.
Yeah, I love a hit and run. Sometimes it's a great thing to do, but I don't think that's what they were doing that other time.
Kopp at the belt. And he delivers. Ensminger goes. Hedela takes, and the throw down to second.
Yeah.
Ensminger just stands in up.
Yeah.
Ensminger got a pretty good jump on that.
Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, he can really run. One of the school's best athletes.
Now Hedela will have the green light.
Yeah.
And the pitch, and he fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to steal third here. And
the pitch, it's high for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike.
That's all right, though. I know he should have went last time, but it's I know, but he'll have practice the next 2 weeks after.
Here's the pitch. And that got him. That's a second straight hit by pitch batter. So Hedela heads down to first. That got Ann kind of shook up over here. Yes, the day after Mother's Day, so she's in her mom mode here.
Yeah. I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Yeah.
It brings up Mitch Medine. And he hit a ground ball through the hole into left field. Ensminger holds at third, and the bases are loaded. Brings up Mason Yarrington. Yarrington doubled his first time up, then grounded to short.
See what Elmwood does on defense. Looks like they're going to just try to turn 2 and not make the play at home. Cop starts Yarrington out with a curveball strike. Ooh, down the line, Yarrington's going to score a couple. That's going to go as a double for Mason Yarrington. Two runs in.
And that was very much needed.
So I texted him and I said, no, I said, you got a game home tomorrow, you know. And he texted me.
So Dylan Hedela comes to the plate. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Dylan way out in front of that curveball.
Dylan's a great hitter. We talked about it. He's just a little long today, a little long with his swing. Wants to be short and quick to the ball. Big spot.
Here's the wind in the pitch. Ground ball to short. Scoop. Throw over to first. And he doesn't control the ball. It's going to be an error on the first baseman. Hedela gets on. And I do believe he's going to get credit for the RBI because that run would have scored anyway. 3 runs in this inning. Vikings on top 5-0.
He didn't play football.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. That's right. I had to have Mike make sure he burnt me one.
And the pitch. It's low. Down to second goes Hedela. Actually, that's Bryson Tuchel as the courtesy runner.
Still nobody out.
Runners at second and third. Ground ball over to first and through the hole. 1 run's in, another run comes in. So Ashton Greenwell with an error on the first baseman. Drives in 2. So it's now 7-0.
Yeah, we talked about Kopp, he just kind of wheels come off a little bit here.
And we're going to have a conference at the mound. And you're probably going dizzy at home with the camera flipping around. I have no idea what it's doing. But while they do that, we'll take a brief time out here and get this all figured out as far as who's pitching on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network bring you some tough semi-pro gridiron action. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, May 20th, when we will bring you the Eau Claire Cowboys taking on the defending champion River City Rough Riders from the Gay-Electric Tripolo High School in Galesville, Wisconsin. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Cowboy Kickoff at 3:30 p.m. That's live Eau Claire Cowboy football on Saturday, May 20th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Alvo, your friendly digital retirement coach, for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide.
And we're sorry if the camera keeps flipping on you, but we're keeping our fingers crossed that straightens out. Throw down to second, and in time is...
I took yours.
I think that's Grant Palowitz.
Running for Greenwell?
Yeah.
This is Kate Anderson at the plate, and the pitch is a little low for a ball. On the mound is Jacob Steele. Peyton Kopp went 4+ innings, gave up 7 runs, swing and a miss for a strike, 4 of which were earned.
I just struggled a little bit that last inning with 2 hit-by pitches, and otherwise he did a great job.
And a shot out into right field for a base hit. And they hold the runner up. Palowitz almost ran through the stop sign.
I hit that hard right off the barrel.
So Palowitz on third, Kate Anderson on first, and that brings up Brian Tuchel. 0 for 2, grounded to third, grounded back to the pitcher. Steele looks over at third and delivers. Runner goes. Throw down to Steele back on the mound, trying to get Palowitz to take off. Kirk Seacross saying to him, "Don't go anywhere." And the pitch. It's outside for a ball. And the pitch. Chopper back to the mound. Steele takes it, throws over to first for the out.
All right, come on, Drew.
So it's going to bring up Drew Beekner with one out. Runners at second and third. Pitch is outside for a ball.
Come on, Drew.
There's the pitch. Outside for a ball. Watching Kirk Seacraw down there in the third base coach's box, and he's actually doing some base running coaching, not just telling him what's going on.
Yeah, Grant's a young kid.
And it's low at the knees for a strike.
I think he wants to come out in foul territory, so if the ball hits him, it's a foul ball. Get a good jump.
2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. That one's low and away for a ball. Count goes to 3-1 to Drew Beekner. Got on an error and struck out. Steele delivers, and it's ball 4.
Tough to come in, playing first base and come in and, get a few warm-ups and throw strikes.
That'll bring up Elijah Ensminger as the Vikings have batted around this inning. He led off the inning by taking one for the team, so to speak. Here's the pitch, foul back.
That's a good swing. Love to see him line one in the gap, Rick, and watch him run a little bit.
One down, bases loaded. And the pitch. Pop up into the infield. Should be infield fly rule. No, it's in foul territory. So catch is made by Beachel. That'll bring up Zach Hedela. Hedela was also hit by a pitch. Scored a run this inning. The 11th batter to come up. Pitch is called strike on the outside corner.
Looks like Steele's getting a little more comfortable.
I'm getting a little loose, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's the pitch. It's high for a ball. Now, according to the statistics we were able to get from Elmwood Plum City,
yeah, I've seen that.
He's not on there. So, ground ball just over the glove of Steele into center field. 1 run in, 2 runs come in, and a runner at third.
One more.
So, in to score is Palowitz. Also, Kate Anderson. Drew Beekner over on third, and Zach Hedela on first. And it's now 9-0. So the game-ending run is on third.
Yeah.
As we are in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. No throw. 12th hitter of the inning. Here's the pitch. Low and away for a ball.
Good stop by the catcher.
Vikings have put 7 runs across the plate.
Beginning.
Pitch is outside for ball, gets away. Here comes the run, and he scores! That should be the ball game. Scores on a wild pitch, and that'll do it. As the Vikings end up with a 10-0 win over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. In that 5th inning, the Vikings picked up 8 runs on 4 hits. There were a couple of errors, and 1 would have been left on base. So we've completed the ball game with the Vikings coming out on top 10-0, and we'll have more for you on Viking Download coming up right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
The teen years are a great time for your child to gain practical experience in managing finances. Perhaps he or she already has a summer job lined up. A free checking account at Derry State Bank can help teens learn to set a budget, track spending, use a debit card, make deposits, and more. Plus, parents are account co-owners and have the ability to supervise the learning process. Give us a call today. Derry State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
Thank you for joining us for today's Colfax Vikings baseball game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. This has been presented for the private listening and viewing use of the tuned-in audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction, in any form, without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and Colfax High School is strictly prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Download, where we take a look back at today's Colfax Viking game.
Let Menominee Eye and Optical help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comroe provide both comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract and LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eye care for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, located at 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality, personalized care for you and your family.
Time now for Viking Download, with a talk about today's Colfax Viking baseball game. And now, back out to the ballpark.
And we're back here at Colfax High School as the Vikings win a 5-inning shortened game by the score of 10-0 over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. And again, they get it in kind of walk-off fashion on a wild pitch like they have been doing. Seems like every time we get one of those kinds of endings, it's a wild pitch walk-off.
Yeah, I feel bad for Elmwood Plum City and, Coach Brathel. They were... Rick, we had talked earlier that they were playing well, 2-0 game and making plays and hustling, and Kopp was throwing strikes, and all of a sudden the wheels come off a little bit, and
And just got away from them.
Yeah, we were able to break open a close game, and but again, we show a lot of good qualities. We're getting them big hits, and I can't say enough nice things about Mitchell, the way he throws, and Zach Hedela. It's a nice 1-2 punch, and I'm excited to see what happens from here.
I would agree with that. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with that seeding meeting.
Yeah.
And I think you said, is that Wednesday of this week?
I believe that's what Coach Seeker said, so.
It would be, I think the Vikings have done the job to earn the possibility for being in the upper half, which would get them a home game. And we'll have to see what happens with that. So joining us right now is Viking Coach Kirk Seacraw, and congratulations, 10-0 win. It's kind of nice to see.
Always nice to win. Took us about 4 innings to get going tonight. So,
part of that you have to give Kopp some credit. He had the guys a little bit stymied at the plate, and he was throwing well. And then, as Joe just said, the wheels kind of came off in the 5th inning there.
Yep, we were way out in front of him tonight. We loaded way too quick, and then we would pop the ball up. So our timing was not there hitting tonight.
And he kept going back to that curveball, and there was one, I think Dylan Hedela could have swung twice at one. He was so far out in front of it.
Yep, he even hit one off the ground, I think, tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right. But, you still came away. They kept their heads together and put it together in that 5th inning. What did you bat? Let's see, I think 13. 13, and actually I think the 14th was at the plate. And and when the wild pitch happened to score the winning run. But and why is it that every time we have these walk-off situations, you do it with a wild pitch?
That's what we'd like to do apparently this year. I don't know. Again, I mean, like you talked about Mace before. Mace comes up and he hits that one down the line again. Yeah. I mean, like I said,
2 doubles, 3 RBIs.
He's one of our baseball players. Yeah. He just loves the game and he wants to play good and he wants to do good.
Mitch Medine threw a really nice game today. 4 2/3 innings. Did you pull him on a pitch count thing?
Yep, he was at 74 or 75. So then we can have him for Glenwood on Thursday. So. Zach came in, he had a really hard job tonight, got one out, and then he was done. So, lucky we scored 8 runs.
But he was ready to go on.
Yeah. He was throwing hard.
So your guys have allowed a total of 1 hit to the Elmwood Plum City Wolves all season. You threw a combined no-hitter over at their place, and then Kopp got the base hit off of you in the 2nd inning.
Yep.
And that's it this year. That's pretty good.
I'll take that anytime against anybody.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Now, we were just talking, seeding meeting for the WIA regionals is Wednesday?
Yep, Wednesday night.
And what do you think the chances of Vikings drawing a home game in that first round?
Our regional's pretty stacked. I mean, we are ahead of Boyceville. We are ahead of Durand. If they won tonight, we're tied. I'm going to shoot for like a 6, 7, 8 seed, I'm hoping. Just because our regional is so stacked. Yeah. Any other year, we're looking at probably a home game.
Yeah. Okay.
Just because we usually have teams that are in our regional, it's usually our conference plus 2 other teams. But this year we got 13 teams in it, so it's a little tougher for us.
And I'm just trying to do this off the top of my head. How many first game buys are there?
I think there's 3.
So that would leave 10 teams. And so you've got to basically, you got to make the top 8 to get one, right?
Yep, that's kind of my plan. That's what I'm hoping for. So.
And so, it's a possibility.
Yep.
And if you can do that, if the Vikings draw anything that'll get them a home game, we'll be right back here and do that for you.
Perfect. Well, we thank you guys for doing it the whole year too. We appreciate it.
Hey, this has been a lot of fun, and we've had a lot of exciting baseball, and your connections finally came through and got us some baseball weather.
Yeah, I think we're 3 for your 11, 3 for 12 on good nice games this year. So, I mean, our average ain't the best, but.
Well, Coach Seacraw, congratulations, 10-0 win over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, and we'll be back with more Viking Download right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking Download on the Northern Light Webcast Network and NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform in attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network bring you some tough semi-pro gridiron action. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, May 20th, when we will bring you the Eau Claire Cowboys taking on the defending champion River City Rough Riders from the Gay Electric Tripolo High School in Galesville, Wisconsin. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Cowboy Kickoff at 3:30 p.m. That's live Eau Claire Cowboy football on Saturday, May 20th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
And we're back here at Colfax High School where the Vikings just came away with a 10-0 win over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, taking the Vikings record to 7-5 on the year. And Joe, your thoughts?
Well, I like these guys. You know, we've been talking about it all year. They've improved, and Coach Seeker and his staff do a great job. And I'd love to see them go into Glenwood and Boyceville and play well. And you never know what's going to happen. I did a little research, and I think, you know, somewhere in that 6, 7, 8, maybe 9, and, you know, but it's a great time of the year. You know, the weather's getting better, and, you know, we're going to be ready for a nice run, I think.
Well, and this is what I remember about watching a lot of high school baseball when my son played.
Yeah.
And it was this time of year, and it was baseball weather.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
you know, some of those games we had earlier this year.
You're just surviving. You're surviving.
We just bundled up and hoping the game would get over with before we froze to death. But, the Vikings have really come on well this year. I'll tell you, I watched the first couple practices indoors up in the batting cage, and I, to be honest with you, walked away kind of shaking my head thinking this could be a long season for the Viking boys, but they have progressed and come along very nicely and have turned into a pretty darn good baseball team.
And I think Mitchell Medine gives them a chance every time out, you know, and he stays away from the barrel. And, you know, we talked about one thing that could getting ahead, throwing more strikes early. But, you know, I like him, and Zach Hela comes in and throws hard. And
they are a really nice 1-2 punch.
Nice 1-2 punch, so.
And they've knocked out a few people with that 1-2 punch on a few occasions. So. Well, don't forget to join us. We have a lot more action coming up here. As we said, depending upon how that seeding meeting comes out on Wednesday, we may or may not have a Viking baseball game on the 25th. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that works out in our favor. But we do have some baseball coming up here prior to that. So join us on Sunday, May 21st on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-TV as we bring you the Eau Claire Cavaliers in their official season opener as they take on the defending Chippewa River Baseball League champion Tilden Tigers in a doubleheader from Carson Park in Eau Claire. Coverage begins at 12:05 with the Dugout Show, followed by live play-by-play action. The Cavaliers have added a game to their schedule. It's a 7-inning affair on Saturday over in Spring Valley. So if you have something you want to do on Saturday, and head on over to Spring Valley. Watch Cavaliers take on Spring Valley over there. Then you can join us while you're watching that Cavaliers game on NLWN-TV for Eau Claire Cowboy football. Our next game will be Saturday as the Cowboys travel to Galesville to take on the River City Rough Riders. Cowboy kickoff begins at 3:30, and it's going to be followed by live play-by-play action. We just did the Cowboys on this last Saturday as they took on the Midwestern Wildcats, and Cowboys came away 68-0 winners. This is going to be a real battle between the Rough Riders and the Cowboys. So again, worth tuning in, worth heading down to Galesville to watch some pretty good semi-pro football. The Dunn St. Croix Conference track meet is going to be held tomorrow in Durand, so lots of things going on. And the girls softball team will begin their WIAA regional play on Thursday against, I didn't see who the opponent was.
They play the winner of Spring Valley and Eau Claire Regis.
And that probably won't be on Thursday then, will it?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, I'm not sure the date on that because they drew a number 2 seed, so they are one of those first-round buys. But that's coming up. And the Viking baseball team is traveling over to Glenwood City to take on the Hilltoppers. That's also on Thursday. First pitch for that game is scheduled for 5 p.m. We will not be there for that one. And then don't forget that the Senior Baccalaureate is going to be held on Wednesday, and graduation for the Colfax High School seniors will be held this Friday at 7 p.m. in the Colfax High School gym. Don't forget that today's Colfax Viking Baseball game is brought to you by Anderson Bridges, the Colfax Animal Hospital, Dairy State Bank, H&H Plumbing, Kyle's Buff and Shine, Kyle's Market, Menominee Eye and Optical, Midwest Environmental Consultants, Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, Morgan's Auto Body of Colfax, Pleasant Valley Properties, Slayton's Technology, Triple Threat Training, and Whitetail Golf Course. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. So for Ann Monroe and Joe Doucette, this is Rick Olson, and for Dan Petra. Dan, I'm going to eat your hot dog, by the way, just to let you know. The final score, once again, Vikings 10 and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 0. You've been tuned to Viking Download on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching Viking Download with a talk about today's Colfax Viking baseball game. This has been a production of NLWN-TV.